If you're constantly getting upset by what your friends are posting, then delete your app.
Okay, audit my Instagram personally.
You need a heart check.
Dorothy drink!
So me being sensitive to thinking that other people will feel sensitive if I post something about my relationship. You, as a single person, how do you know if you're being too sensitive, and how do I know if I'm like, I shouldn't care? Is what kind of what it should
not
be.
really. Like, no matter what, I think people will take offense. Like, if you don't post your family ever, people are gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with your relationship that you never post it? If you post it too much, why are you posting it so much? I'm offended.
Yeah, that overcompensation.
What you post should be what you want to post. And then if someone takes issue with it, then you can have the conversation that like, okay, let's actually talk about what you're feeling. What about this upset you? Is this really coming from you? Like some perspective that you have, or some maybe misunderstanding that you have about my responsibility towards you. And then on the single people's side, if you're constantly getting upset by what your friends are posting, then delete your app. Spend time with people in real life. And then try to go back on and like reassess how you're responding.
There are filters, like you could filter your feed to cater to something that won't make you overly sensitive. But it's also like you do need to confront that issue. Like confront that issue, because if we're going back into that conversation of having those genuine connections and conversations, connect with them. Like try to see like what else is there beyond what's being posted on Instagram. The you problem is real in terms of the sensitivities that we see on social media, but you need a heart check.
Maybe that's the advice, is you ask yourself, what is making me upset about this? Why am I responding in this way? Process that, think about that. And then if you're able to identify, no, this person has a pattern of posting insensitive things, or in real life, I notice that they seem to constantly be talking about this type of thing, then you can bring it up. But take ownership of your own emotions and be reflective. Like married people, cultivate self-awareness. Single people, cultivate that for yourself. Then that gets rid of a lot of the kind of unnecessary tension and reactivity that we often have.
Because I think that is unfortunate. You know, some of the hesitancies and for single people to hang out with married people and vice versa is what they portray on social media. So it's kind of like, okay, well, they won't have time to hang out with me because this is what they have. Like, this is what they're dealing with.
Okay, audit my Instagram personally. Do I post too much of my dog?
I don't think so.
That's your life, right? Like, you like your dog, you love your dog.
People make whole Instagrams
happy
for their dogs, so I don't think it's too
That's true. See, I haven't done that yet. Man, I know like a few people who like lost their dogs in the last year, and like here I am posting a picture of my dog. I'm like, is this gonna make them sad? I mean, like they could just scroll past it, but at the same time, I think that's also my insecurity of wanting people to like me. Yeah, that's a whole other issue. From what you've seen of my posts of like anything that has done with my relationship. I mean, it's different for you, moderator, because you're related to my spouse.
my like threshold is very high. I think the question more is, if you were another person, not Dorothy, what would you think of the stuff that you post? Would you be like, oh, this is interesting? Or would you want to see more of something else? Like,
I want to see more of my dog.
Okay, yeah, then post more pictures of your dog.
I remember, I think it was my birthday, or it was Gil's birthday. I'm like, you don't have to post a picture of me on my birthday, right? And he's like, I don't. Like, no, I don't care. You're here. It's fine. That's something else that I think is weird. Couples who are married post on each other's walls.
They're like talking to each other in public, like on.
Yeah. That's weird. I'm like, but you live together. Can't you just show each other later?
I mean, it happens with single people. I remember, like, before my parents even greeted me, like, in person happy birthday, my dad goes, oh, did you see my birthday post?
Yeah, my dad doesn't, he won't say happy birthday to me in real life. He'll write it on Facebook and then be like, I did it.
Yeah.
Well, did you want me to say thanks now or thanks on the Facebook? The Facebook. Okay. How do we want to end this? We talked about sensitivity.
And you said heart check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Wreck yourself.
Or before you wreck someone else. Like, don't assume that it's the other person that is making all the mistakes, and like, don't assume that they're doing it to spite you. and like, you're the only person affected. Like, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know anything unless you really look in yourself and you're like, okay, yeah, what is it that they're doing that's bothering me? And is it a me problem? 80% of the time.
It usually is.
It's a you problem.
Is.
Good. Excellent.
Cool.
Well, thanks, Dorothy, married person. Just kidding.
Thank you, moderator.
Thanks,
Thank you guys for having this discussion with me candidly on the internet, being open and honest and sharing what's on your hearts. I think it was a good conversation. Opened my eyes up to see some things that I never thought of before. Hopefully you people watching at home or wherever you are, hopefully it opened your eyes to think about how marriage does affect your relationships, and regardless of whether you're married or single, just what that dynamic is like.
Just be considerate of other people and deal with your problems before you make other people responsible for your problems.
And approach it with love. Like, there's no leveling up. You don't have to put up a front, regardless if you're single, regardless if you're married. There's no specific mold that you have to fit. Be true to yourself.
True to your heart.
And love one another.
In conclusion,
furthermore,
all in all, nevertheless, amen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.